never gonna get old. So I gotta tell you, I'm extremely impressed by the exhaust. You guys can probably tell that already, but yep, so it's most certainly everything I expected. If you had to compare it to anything, of course, that would be an R6. If you've heard an R6 with an exhaust, that's exactly what this bike sounds like. And so I'm happy with that. That's what I was going for, and I'm real happy that's the sound I have. Now, a couple of concerns I had going into this thing, of course, was number one, the mounting of the exhaust, which in the end worked out okay. But one thing that I did discuss in the installation video was, or part one of it anyways, was I didn't know whether or not I would have to modify the header. And what I mean by that is, so this R6 header that is bolted up to this FZ6R, I don't know what year it's from, but apparently I believe it's from a 2006 R6. And the reason why I think so is because I read somewhere, I don't know if it was the 600cc forum or what, but I had read once upon a time that the 2006 model R6, the header on that bike was the one you wanted because it didn't require the heat treatment and reshaping. So, you know, there was a chance that this header was going to have to be heated up and bent downward in order to clear the oil pan on this bike. So, you know, I went through the installation, filmed the whole thing. You guys probably saw that already. If not, check this out up here. And I mentioned it just one time, and then I never mentioned it again. And you know what? I didn't even think twice about it. It's just, this son of a bitch fit. But anyways, looking back on that and reflecting, man, am I happy about it fitting. Because I really didn't have a solution if the thing didn't fit. I mean, you know, if it didn't clear the oil pan, I didn't have a ready-made solution. I guess I was gonna have to go buy a torch or something, but let's just be happy that wasn't an issue. Y'all check out those Texas blue bonnets, man. Pretty nice, right? State flower of Texas. Apparently it's illegal for them to mow them, so they just grow along with all the rest of the grass. Now, so another concern I had was the just the general functionality of the Power Commander FC, the fuel controller. You know, I knew I can upload a pre-made map for the thing, but I mean, let's be honest, I really had no idea how the thing was going to react to a fuel map for another exhaust, right? But basically, this is a pieced together custom exhaust, right? R6 header with Yoshimura can, and it was a shot in the dark as to whether or not the Two Brothers fuel map would work out okay. And I'll tell you what, man, that map, along with the block-off plates that are installed, there's pretty much minimal pop. I mean, when I'm decelerating, there's a lot of gurgle going on, but there's no loud backfiring. So, with that being said, I do believe the block-off plate coupled with the Two Brothers map is a success. Now, just as a side note, of course, we're burning more fuel now, right? It comes along with the territory, man. You start adding performance items to these bikes, which require more fuel delivery, and there's really nothing you can do about that. It is what it is. So my fuel consumption has gone up just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. I'm still able to commute back and forth for 2 days before a fill up. And as a matter of fact, I think we can make it to Buc-ee's. Fuel light's not even on yet, so we'll just cruise all the way and probably make it to Buc-ee's to fill up. But outside of that fuel situation, another really random thing I've noticed is that the bike runs cooler. Now, I can hypothesize a number of reasons why that might be. Everything from just generally more flow for the exhaust to the fact that the bike is running correctly as far as the tuning goes with the addition of this Power Commander map. Just for illustration purposes, I don't know if you guys can see, but right now the bike is running 180 degrees. That's crazy because the FZ6R runs hot. It's always ran hot, and I've heard other riders talk about how they don't like the way the FZ6R runs hot. And what I mean by that is, now granted, it's not really hot right now outside. The temperature's like in the high 70s, low 80s at the moment, and I would expect to see this bike running at about 195 to 200 degrees. That would not be out of the norm. But you see us cruising at 85 miles an hour, and we're at, okay, so it climbed 2 degrees. Now we're at 182. This bike should really be running about 200 degrees right now. The other caveat of that is that previously, you know, I would shut off the bike, and if you leave the power on the bike, but with the engine shut off after riding for a while, you know, after going through a full heat cycle, the bike would sit there and of course continue to warm up a bit, and the fan would kick on, and it would have to bring the bike down from like 212 to 214 degrees. It no longer does that, man. I shut off the bike and now it climbs up to around 200 tops. The fan doesn't even have to kick on anymore. Long story short, I don't know what the deal is, but I suppose that's a good thing. The bike runs a lot cooler now. But to talk a little bit more about the bike sound, it's interesting, coming down from speed, you know, like coming up to a stop or whatever, and I'm rev matching and slowing down, which sounds awesome, by the way. Rev matches sound amazing now. But as you slow down, get going slower, the sound gets louder and louder. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that, like, right now I can hear the exhaust, but like the sound is down and behind me, if that makes sense. It's not overbearing is what I'm trying to say. Matter of fact, I can still hear my Cena just fine. I can run radio, Pandora, whatever, and the exhaust sound really has no effect on that. When I get alongside a car, like to my right here, I can definitely hear the exhaust note. So there is an echo off other vehicles, which also sounds really good. But as far as the sound actually being a problem, it's really not. It's not loud at all. Like, there's really no reason to have to wear earplugs because of this exhaust. Man, I'll tell you something else I can do now is the whole rev bomb thing under an overpass, or like if you're sitting there under a bridge or whatever. I can do that now too. Sounds crazy. Now look, guys, one other thing about this fuel controller, and this is important if you're gonna put one of these on your bike. If you are going to run a custom map like I am, all of the little rheostats, there's 3 of them, all 3 of them, which are normally used for fine tuning and tweaking of your fuel curves, you need to make damn sure when you take this thing out of the box that all of those rheostats are turned all the way down. Because if you run a custom map, the only knob you mess with is the base knob. There's a base level knob, and it's numbered 1 through 10, and that allows you to select which slot you save that map to in the Power Commander software. Now, on this one, it comes with some kind of factory map, which is, it does nothing in slot 1. I don't really understand the point of it, but it's there. So I didn't want to delete it just because it came with it, so I left it in slot 1, and I put the Two Brothers map in slot 2. Okay, so when I took the thing out of the box and uploaded the map with the software on my laptop, I went ahead and turned that little knob to number 2, and now when I was going to install the Power Commander on the bike, I just so happened to mess with the knobs just to see, and sure enough, man, 2 of them were turned up a little bit for whatever reason. You know, I don't know at what point that happened. Maybe it happened during the manufacturing process. I really don't know, and it doesn't matter. The point is, you need to go ahead and make sure those knobs are turned all the way down before you bother installing the unit. Well, guys, I guess that about covers everything I wanted to talk about as far as my initial impressions and thoughts about the new exhaust. You know, it's something I would have done a long time ago had I been able to afford it, man. You know, it's just an aftermarket exhaust system is a whole lot of money, you know, just to spend. I am super happy that I finally have an exhaust in this bike. You know, 3 years and 40,000 miles later, here we are. And it's all thanks to Eric Murillo. You know, I couldn't have done it without him, a subscriber that sent me this exhaust. So, again, huge shout out to him, man. That dude is boss. If you haven't yet, go ahead and smash the like button, y'all. Share the video, share all my stuff, man. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. There's plenty more material to come. Guys, this has been Half Click Up. I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace! Goodbye!